Welcome back, viewers. You're watching the Savera and I'm Shefali. With a significant hike in tariffs on Indian exports looming, US President Donald Trump appears to have ruled out any possibility of renewed negotiations with India, reinforcing a hardened stance amid escalating trade and geopolitical tensions. Responding to a reporter's question about whether discussions might resume following the announcement of the punitive tariffs, Trump tearfully remarked that there would be no talks, not until we get it resolved. Though his brief comment left ambiguity around what exactly needed resolution, it is widely speculated that he was referring either to the ongoing war in Ukraine or to deeper trade disputes between the US and India. The US administration has linked the additional 25% tariff announced earlier this week to India's continued imports on Russian crude oil, despite global efforts to economically isolate Moscow. Now, when combined with the previously imposed 25% tariff that comes to force on July 20th, the total duties on certain Indian goods will now surge to 50% effective August 27. While the White House has not explicitly confirmed whether lifting the new tariff would be contingent on breakthrough in the Ukraine conflict, President Trump has remained vague on the issue. Asked on Wednesday if he would consider rolling back the tariff should Russia agree to a peace deal, he had replied only that such decision would be made later, but for now, they are paying a 50% tariff. Now, analysts believe that the additional tariff on India may be part of a broader strategy to tighten economic pressure on Russia, as India remains one of the largest buyers of its oil. Trump has previously issued a 50-day ultimatum to the Kremlin to agree to a ceasefire or face sweeping secondary sanctions targeting all countries purchasing Russian oil. Now, that deadline was later reduced to just 12 days, ending this Friday. Now, despite the focus on India, New Delhi is not alone in sourcing energy supplies from Moscow. Indian officials have expressed frustration over what they perceive as selective targeting. In a sharply worded statement, India described the latest US move as extremely unfortunate, particularly given that other countries continue to take similar actions to safeguard their own energy security. The government reiterated its resolve to take all actions necessary to protect its national interest. The recent development marks a sharp shift in tone from just a few weeks ago, when both US and India officials have expressed optimism about reaching a bilateral trade agreement. Talks have reportedly progressed significantly, with leaders on both sides suggesting a deal was close. However, negotiations are believed to have stalled over contingent issues, such as US demands for greater access to India's agriculture and dairy markets. Now, as the August 27 deadline approaches, attention is also focused on parallel diplomatic efforts related to the Ukraine conflict. Trump has voiced frustration with Russian President Vladimir Putin for what he described as resistance to ending the war, although both Washington and the Kremlin have signed recent progress in their back-channel negotiation. Trump's special convoy, Steve Witkoff, held an extensive 3-hour meeting with President Putin on Wednesday. Following the talks, Trump described the meeting as productive, noting that there was a very good chance of a breakthrough towards ending the war. Now, the Kremlin, meanwhile, confirmed that a direct meeting with Trump and Putin was being planned, with some reports suggesting it would take place as early as next week. Although Trump declined to confirm a date for the potential summit, he acknowledged Moscow's interest in high-level talks and said he was prepared to do whatever I can to stop the killing. Now, as the geopolitical and trade landscapes continue to evolve rapidly, India's strategic calculus will likely be shaped by both the fallout from the US tariffs and the broader implications of the Ukraine conflict. The coming days may prove pivotal for both economic diplomacy and international relations. That's all for now in this update. Stay tuned to the Savera. Download the app and follow us on various social media platforms.